Hello Internet, and welcome to the Collective Arcana. We are a channel all about tabletop gaming. My name is Wyatt, and today we're going to be talking about the Open Gaming License and the Open RPG Creative License. It's been a while, I know, with the holidays and the extra workload at my job. It's just been a little bit hard to get videos out. You can probably guess why we have jumped back in now, of all times. Well, actually, you're probably wondering why we waited so long. The reality is that I've written this video about 4 or 5 times over the last few days, and I wanted to make sure that I was researching everything very well and giving you the best possible information that I could on the subject. If you don't know everything that's going on right now with Wizards of the Coast... Hold on, there's a cat. If you don't know everything that's going on right now with Wizards of the Coast and the Open Gaming License, I suggest you check out the Rules Lawyer and Roll for Combat's YouTube channels. They have been doing great coverage on this subject ever since news broke last week. I'm not going to deep dive into it. I'm not going to really talk about it. Like I said, I've written the video several times. I had a lot to say on the subject, but the reality is it's all been pretty downer, not great news, and I don't like to share the terrible news with you guys. But thankfully, the time to post a video is now, I think. Well, I'm recording this video at about 6:30 on Thursday night, January 12th. So, those of you who don't know, some big news has just broken. Suffice it to say, Paizo has finally released their statement in response to the leaked new contract that would functionally gut third-party publishing for D&D going forward and potentially destroy and disrupt everything that's already been published under the Open Gaming License prior. So it's been a mess. Please go check it out. Inform yourselves on what Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro are trying to do with the D&D brand. It's not great, but there is a beacon of hope. As I said, Paizo has released their statement, and it's not quite fair to call it their statement, but we'll get to that in a moment. And as Eric Mona said in a stream earlier this week, I believe, the world has heard what they had to say. I've rewritten this video several times, as I said. Sarah and I really love for our channel to be a positive place, and so I'm really very thankful that I get to do this video instead of some of the others that I'd written. We understand that there's a lot of really awful stuff in the world, but there's good too, and for a lot of folks, TTRPGs are one of those good things. It's their safety net, it's their happy place. I know it has been literally that for me in my life, and some days it still kind of is, Some days it's really nice to have this hobby and this community that we can cling to no matter what's going on, and it's been a very scary time for this hobby and this community. So we'll put a link down in the description so you can go and read this announcement yourself, provided that Paizo's website is still up. It's been having a lot of trouble ever since the announcement got made, as well as the Archives of Nethys. It's getting hugged by the community a lot, and it's struggling. Basically, Paizo and a bunch of third-party publishers, including Kobold Press and so many others, have joined together with Brian Lewis and the Azora law firm to not only defend the Open Gaming License as it is on behalf of these smaller third-party publishers who may not be in a position to fight Wizards of the Coast and this revamp of the Open Gaming License, but also to work together to build a new Open RPG Creative License, or ORC. And that will be open and free and explicitly irrevocable and perpetual. It will be held in trust with the Azora law firm until it can be given over to a sufficiently neutral nonprofit entity that can maintain and uphold it so that no one, no third party, no small publisher ever has to worry about a bait and switch like this ever again. This is literally the community standing up for the community. It's a historic moment for this hobby, and not just because of what these big creators are doing, but also because of what the community has done with the Open D&D letter and hashtag on Twitter, and the D&D Be Gone hashtag, where everyone is canceling their D&D Beyond subscriptions. It's the community's response to Wizards of the Coast has been huge. It's been heartwarming. It's been like I said, it's historic. The fact that it's Paizo who is leading this charge, I mean, they have been in this fight before. Eric Mona, the ownership at Paizo, most of the oldest people, I won't say old, but the most experienced, the most senior people over there have literally been in this fight for a long time in various forms ever since 4th edition. So believe me when I tell you, if you're not familiar with this backstory stuff, these are the right people to have fighting. Okay, Brian Lewis is the person who wrote the original open gaming license. Okay, and Ryan Dancy has been doing interviews and stuff like that as well. And their consensus is the open gaming license is non-revocable, but and they are willing to defend that stance in court for the smaller companies and creators who may not be able to. And that is just huge. That is something that they did not have to do. They did not have to. And they chose to do it. And that is just, I mean, that's, as far as things go in this hobby, you know, as dramatic as it may sound, I mean, that's superhero stuff. You know, that is going above and beyond to make sure that the community gets what it needs to survive. I'm not going to go too much longer. It's a really nice night, and I want to go celebrate. But what you're going to see is you're going to see the Collective Arcana, and you're going to see a lot of other Pathfinder channels start redoubling our efforts to focus on new players and make sure that everyone is feeling welcome and getting the information that they need to hit the ground running and enjoy what we think is the best system out there. But we're also going to be covering the ORC as news comes and develops. You know, there's still a lot that's up in the air. The intentions have been announced and the game plan has been stated, but you know, there's still a lot to be determined in what that's going to mean for all these smaller publishers. Paizo has stated that they are going to continue to publish, and they're just going to remove the OGL and then replace it with the ORC once that's in place. But it's going to be a process. Things are already, you know, in print runs and getting ready to go to the printers and too late to change sort of stuff. But they are very firm in their stance that the OGL will survive or should survive. And if it fails to, that's what the ORC is going to be for. So, you know, we're going to do our best to cover that as information comes and try to welcome everybody and, you know, try to keep the veterans, people who have been with Pathfinder 2e for a while, you know, keep you covered as well. But you're going to see a lot more of this new welcoming content. So if you are new, there's a great place to be. How it's played is great. There's a lot of great, wonderful resources for you to learn how to play this game. Chief among them is the Archives of Nethys. That's a free resource. Make sure you're selecting Archives of Nethys 2e. We'll put links down below as well. Path Builder is a great free character generator, and there's new tools coming up all the time. And I imagine, as there is this exodus from 5e and Wizards of the Coast, that more and more and more and more new tools and content and resources are going to come available. So you've picked a great time to come over if you're coming over. That's it. Thanks so much for watching. Welcome to the Collective. We'll see you next time, and long live the ORC. Bye.